Sorry. And what's up, bitches? How you doing? So today we're gonna cover PurpleTinker and Kalia. I will probably cover the suspension of Donald Trump since I seen that when I first woke up, and I already have some guy called Jerry with 1R in my replies saying him getting suspended wasn't good. Okay, Kalia. Hold on, let me share my screens on Discord so you guys can see this in real time. Hopefully I don't accidentally share something like my social security.
No promises.
Oh yeah, no promises. So Kalia
I'm gonna
is
dox you.
a boopity whoop. We put this here. Okay. Everything seems good. So I always get a little anxiety when I show my screen on OBS. I'm just like, oh, did I just share something? Actually, I forgot. Let me announce this in my server and stuff like that real fast. Hold on.
I was gonna say, yeah, I was waiting for when you would do that.
I forgot. At
So make your
everyone,
Twitter post, you bitch.
we live. I'm too busy getting ratioed on Twitter to ever be cool enough to make a post. We live. And we live. Oh god. Okay, so I believe there was nothing bad shown here that could get me in trouble. There wasn't. Okay, there was nothing bad shown here. So I made a tweet saying zoo file alert. The user Kalia has basically they admitted to being a zoophile, and they were defending Mangle Swirl from the words of their own girlfriend Lavender, and then they were actually you can slowly see their transition to zoophile to the start of the year. As if you read these screen caps here, the post will be linked in the description. If you read these screen caps, you'll see that she was saying at the start of the year that she thinks that she's a zoophile, and that she's really into fucking horses. Not just horses, but fucking horses. So now if we, hold on, we need to go to the other post now. Okay, this one I was overly careful on, but apparently being overly careful is a bad thing, I fucking guess. So, there we go. I said this tweet will cover Kalia. I don't know if you say Kalia or Kalia. Kalia's pedophilic actions. No, I am not calling her a pedophile. I'm saying her actions are pedophilic suspicious, and some of her actions are completely illegal. You know, I'm trying to play it safe because, in all honesty, a lot of these are 2-year age gap. I did get the age wrong right here, though. Because I said attempting to exploit a 17-year-old for nudes when she was 19. The person isn't 17; they're actually 16. I try to. There's nothing bad here, right? I don't know about my own posts. So yeah, so I corrected myself at the end of the thread. I commented on the post itself, saying that the age was actually 16. But basically, reads out as it does. Kalia was telling a 16-year-old that she would buy her a dildo if the 16-year-old was to send her nudes. Why did you send me 14 messages, Azra? Jesus Christ. Give me your stream key. Fine. No, I'm kidding. Fine. Here, my stream key. Fucking take it. I don't even want it. Let's see. There was another incident where Kalia allowed minors into not safe for work, and she only changed it after Discord had told her, hey, you're not allowed to let kids look at the not safe for work channels on our platform. Then she complained about it and changed it. And there was another incident where she had wrote a dildo on call in front of a 16-year-old when she was 18. Again, I'm not saying she's a pedophile because the age gap. I'm just mentioning that it's kind of not legal. You know, just kind of a little bit not legal. Kind of child porn. You know. You know, it's kind of porn of children, and it's kind of legal. And before somebody says Romeo and Juliet laws, guess what, dumb fuck? Romeo and Juliet laws don't cover nudes.
They
Eventually
don't,
gets
and
leaked.
also with Romeo and Juliet laws, once you cross state lines, it's a hard 18.
Yeah, and when it comes to online, even if state says age of consent there is 16, when it comes to online, it's 18. And there's a good fucking reason for that, but people are stupid. So now we get to segue our way into PurpleTinker.
Woo!
Woo, hold on. Let me go to Shiloh's DMs, because who the
Can
Pull
say
me out of
PurpleTinker doesn't
retirement for a
realize
second.
PurpleTinker doesn't realize that these nudes get leaked. It's still fucking child nudes that have now been leaked. It doesn't
Well,
matter if they were within ages of consent, Romeo Juliet laws or whatever the fuck. It's still a child's nudes.
Exactly. Okay.
care of you guys.
So here we go. So I need to grab her replies. Don't call her they or them, or you'll be transphobic. Remember that, people. There we go. So we got that one. Hold on.
No.
Yes, perhaps.
Hurry the fuck up, Riza.
I'm trying to get these in order, but I give up. Okay. Doop. Okay. So, give me your stream key. You know what, Azra? Next stream, I'll literally give you my stream key. Actually, I probably won't, because you'll probably just stream porn. Okay, so which one's the first one? Yeah, okay, so I already have that tweet, so I could delete this. Do sick stuff. Okay. So, here we go. We're gonna put this on. Actually, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna put this on screen. Sorry, I'm overly careful with my shit on here. So, of course, on the tweet where it's not only that Callie was trying to get a 16-year-old's nudes, it was also the fact that she was saying, I'll give you nudes in exchange for this. Like, if you give me your nudes, I'll get you something. Isn't there a law against that? I don't know.
I wouldn't say it's blackmail, but it's along that line. Like, you shouldn't be bargaining with...
Sextortion?
Yeah, that'd probably be a better word, where
Yeah,
it's just, you know, trying to... I'm gonna fuck up this word, because I've just woken up, coercion or whatever, where the minor's been pushed into sending nudes for XYZ reason.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not legal.
No, not at all.
I'm pretty sure it's not legal, but, you know, PurpleTinker doesn't care. PurpleTinker said, are you seriously trying to ruin someone's life for doing sex things with someone only 2 years younger than them? It's like, why does the age gap matter? It's still child porn. It's still, you know, exploiting someone. Directly exploiting them by saying, you know, hope it's our 9 to 10,000. Sorry, I just decided to reach out for a second. It's still exploiting a child and telling them, you know, I can get you this if you send me nudes. Either if they're an adult or a child, that's still fucked up. And the thing is, it's a child that's 16. And it's an adult that's 19 that's doing this. So let's see. PurpleTinker deleted like all of her replies, which is why I now have to use these screenshots. Hoopity whoop.
I like that she deleted them and then had the nerve to make a post and be like, I stand by everything. Well, if you stand by everything, maybe you should have left them up.
Yeah, I stand by this. Hurry up and delete this. Fuck! You know?
She cares more about her public image than fucking anything. That's all she cared about with the Mintart situation, too.
Yeah. So, I just said it's a publicity stunt, because at this point, nobody knows who she is. Nobody gives a fuck about who she is. Hold on, somebody added me comments. And comes to law. Okay, here we go. Purple, 2 years, 1 year, 3 months is still CP. Stop trying to defend this shit. I don't know why she was trying to defend this shit, but I was in a server with a bunch of people who actually supported her in the past, and once they seen this, they just blocked her. They just got rid of her because they were just like, yeah, supporting child porn isn't really. Yeah. You're trying to destroy someone's life because of a 2-year age gap. And then she mentions people breaking into the U.S. Capitol. But
Because, you know, you can't focus on two things at once. Her thought is, you need to be focusing on the Trump supporters breaking into the Capitol, not CP being distributed.
I
We
hate the
can
fact
do
that she
both.
tried to
They're
bring in
both
that.
illegal.
I was told comm staff worship her. Yeah, sea bronies eat her dick, dude. Like, they eat her fucking ass, dude. Like, any
Well, don't
shit
worry.
that
We're
comes out.
working on contacting cons and doing what we
I
can
know,
there.
but I know there's like that sea bronies thing. Not the one that has like some kind of Minecraft event. I think it's that one or a different one. It's most likely a different one, but there's a sea bronies con that just like eats any shit that comes out of her ass, just sucking it all up.
Doesn't she run that though?
Probably. I don't think she
I
runs it.
thought
I
that's
think
the
she's
one she ran.
I don't know she runs it. I think she's part of it. Because I remember someone telling me they were trying to contact Sea Bronies and saying that they were probably banned from the server because of PurpleTinker. Because they were trying to notify Sea Brony staff. Then they got banned. But what? I have a question, Tinker. What does me acknowledging the U.S. Capitol, what does that do to help anything? Do you expect me to turn into like fucking Thanos, go over there and just end it? Like, yeah, I know it happened. I know it's happening. I retweeted things about it. The fuck am I
Use it 9. Bruiser breaks into the Capitol.
It's like, how powerful do you think my tweets are? Do you think my tweets are able to stop them or something?
Bruiser,
Sure
you got
can.
Donald Trump suspended single-handedly. What are you talking about?
Yeah, give me the
He
credit.
took out the master sword and smited that account.
But someone should be ruined. Again, she keeps mentioning age gap, even though I said in the tweet plenty. But I don't want to mention it. It is a bit too much for asking brain dead retards on Twitter to read a tweet. Which is obvious that these people do not have the ability to read a tweet, which is why they're like, oh, it's like the Carmi Carson situation. Who cares? Whatever, it's Smalley. It's like, yeah, brain dead retard. I said the age gap, it isn't really important. It's the fact that child porn was sent. Whoop-de-fucking-do. You're a fucking moron. Let's keep going. Oh yeah, this is her deleting her tweets. If you go to my replies and you see that it says PurpleTinker, you'll see that all her tweets I was replying to are suddenly vanished, gone. There we go. Okay. It's okay, as in not wrong for a 19-year-old and 17-year-old to do sex stuff. I mean, it's 2-year age gap. I don't think she understands why these laws exist. Kids do stupid things. They're not allowed to film themselves fucking other people, right?
Am I reading that second part correctly? Is that where she says, "I don't give a fuck if it's me"?
Yeah.
That's not. Oh my god.
Yeah, she's saying on my subjective opinion they should be taken as objectivity. It's okay, but kids are dumb.
She's like, she made a post that's like, if you care if it's illegal or not versus morals, then we're not gonna get along. And it's like, bitch.
Yeah.
What?
She doesn't understand the age of consent, the brain, and all that stuff. I don't think people should have sex until they're 18, because when you're 18, your brain finally develops, you know. What consent is, it's more understanding of what sex is and the repercussions and the consequences and stuff like that. So, letting someone share their nudes around when they don't even understand consent fully, when they're not mentally, there, I guess you could say. Plus, they're a child.
Well, and it's like, it's not like we have a problem, like, say if they were just dating, but the issue comes into play with that there's fucking nudes, there's NSFW, that's where you have to, it's like, okay, if you two want to date, that's fine, but you're gonna have to wait till they're 18 to go any further than, like, oh cool, we're dating, we watch movies and shit.
Yeah, like, that's the thing. I don't give a shit if it was just dating. It's just the fact there's not safe for work shit involved that specifically involved nudes being sent and shit like that. That was my issue. And they're 16, by the way. PurpleTinker sent my DMs. Well, they're 16, so that does change it quite a bit. And I'm just like, what's the limit with you then? Is it like, are you gonna let people get a fucking year early pass on sending nudes? Like, what's the limit with you? I'll probably show her DMs on screen in a bit. Probably. They're pretty fucking worthless, and they just annoyed the shit out of me. Because it was the basic, oh, you're just doing this for clout. I think you're doing this for clout, you know? And I'm just like, please, shut the fuck up with your stupid publicity stunt. There we go. A lot of people out there trying to cancel me. No, okay, sure. Canceling. I feel
Definitely.
okay.
Sure.
Whatever. We'll just say sure. Cancel me or mark me as defending CP. That's literally what you're doing. Defending pedophilia. Didn't say it was pedophilia. Like, she keeps saying it's pedophilia. Guess what? I made that tweet, and it's up to interpretation. If you want to say Kelly is a pedophile for that, go ahead. That's your interpretation. I didn't say that she was a pedophile because I personally didn't really believe it. CP is wrong. Pedophilia is wrong. A 19-year-old sexting a 17-year-old is neither. And at this point, I had already told her that they were actually 16 and that I misheard them in call and they said they were turning 17. So she's lying right here by saying.
And it wasn't just sexting. It's okay. CP is wrong. You were told that they got nudes of this child.
Exactly. That's the thing. It's like, CP is wrong, but this is an exception.
I'm sorry, PurpleTinker. I didn't know you fucking decided the laws of the country we live in.
Oh, no. See, it doesn't matter what law. It matters what morals.
Oh, yeah. That fucking hit me. Tinker said, like, I don't like this. Are you above the law?
Yeah, because it was something along
In
the
her
lines of,
mind,
I
she
don't care if it's illegal. And I know I responded, I was like, it doesn't matter if you care if it's illegal or not. It's still illegal.
Rouge, I will kiss you.
I don't know. Lyle's here. Do you have anything to say on it?
Get what PurpleTinker's getting at. I do understand it. The law is the law, and it's that way for a reason. Is it a little goofy that kids can be prosecuted for possession and distribution of child porn? Yeah, sure, but the reason why the law is as hard as it is supposed to be acting as a deterrent. And part of the problem is, instead of informing these kids or teaching them that this isn't wise, whether it be by parents or peers or other people, they just fall into the culture and they do stuff like this. It's still illegal. It's still unacceptable. They should still be cognizant enough to understand implicitly what they are doing. I get where PurpleTinker is coming from, and I don't genuinely think PurpleTinker is an evil person. I don't think PurpleTinker, well, she does sometimes act maliciously, but I'm trying to find the right words here. I think PurpleTinker has got to start learning to just calm down a little bit, breathe, give it a moment, and then maybe just have a discussion about it instead of immediately going 100% on anything off of the immediate emotion, the immediate feeling. I think that would benefit her quite a bit. I think PurpleTinker is one of these people who could do a lot of good. And I think she does genuinely try to, and I think she wants to, but she's got to learn to control her emotions, because in this case, just like with the Mint Heart situation, it just puts her in a really bad position. And that's the problem.
Yeah, I mean, she could have full out DM'd me or something. Me and her were shared a server, and I was in that server voice chat with people. So she could have either joined a voice chat, she could have DM'd me on either Discord or Twitter. Instead, she just replied that, and I was just like, are you serious?
Well, to answer Kurisu Fudo's question, they don't teach kids stuff like this in school because they don't tend to teach kids law in school, basically, unless you go into study law, which is different than just knowing basic laws. But Ruza, what is Lio art that you're asking Missy for?
Fuck, wait, what was it? I forgot. Oh, you know the little meme where people are sitting at a screen, the little SpongeBob title card comes up?
Oh no. What are
Yeah.
you doing? What is it?
Rouge, no.
Fix your latency. Give me better internet. Fuck you.
Ruza.
What?
What are you doing? What are you having Missy do?
Various crimes. Wait, what's she saying? I'm gonna swear. I've been busy. I'm sorry. Don't worry about it.
No, seriously, what is your latency on right now?
Wait, let me see. Oh, my internet's a bit shit right now because I just paid the bill, and usually when I just paid a bill, it runs like shit for the first week or so.
Okay, but like on YouTube, is your latency set at high or low?
Let me check. Hold on. Whoop. Stream settings, latency set to normal.
Next time you want to go low, it'll kind of kill the delay. Missy, I'll deal with you later. I'm gonna find out. I've been busted. Gonna find out, Missy.
Okay.
Azura, I don't even know you. Why would you tell me you love me? I don't know you.
Oh my
Azura's
God.
that one kid. Remember when you had an argument with a cop?
Yeah,
Yeah, Azura was involved with that.
I see.
Yeah, they were
I
the
see.
person. Fuck, they weren't the kid or the cop. They were just helping us with that.
Isn't it amazing how I never got arrested?
Oh yeah, we're still waiting on that, you know.
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
arrest
getting-
you. It's okay.
If you have a crime to report,
Citizen's arrest.
I mean, in fairness, I did arrest your boyfriend once. That was kind of funny.
I
let's
know.
see.
I got to hear about how you woke him up by throwing him on the floor.
Get it
Bruh.
coming. You looked at me funny.
Mm.
After stream, tell you, I am under no obligation to tell you anything, child. I do what I want.
This might be the
Why,
shortest
Amanda?
stream I've ever made. Actually, should I cover shit she said? Actually, let me look in DMs to see if it's worth. Oh yeah, that person Lav surprised that was basically eating Purple Flix's dick. By the way, if you want to, I fully think it would be badass if you got ship art of Lav surprise and Purple Flix together, because she seems to be gobbling his dick like no other kid has ever been able to do. So. PurpleTinker, let me go in DMs real fast. Okay. Yeah, it's not worth there's too much reading. It's just mostly bullshit, kind of dodging my questions that I asked her to bring up fucking cherry-picked cases of kids getting in trouble because of shit. But yeah, Lab Surprise was just like, why don't you just call her a pedophile? And I didn't realize to the people on Twitter that I have to make their decisions for them. That I have to tell people what to think of stuff. I forgot to put this thing on loop, so now it just keeps ending every once in a while. Hold on, there we go. I just set
So
this shit up.
everybody tag Twitter support and tell them to unban me. They banned Trump, but they won't unban me.
Oh my god, I woke up to that. I was like, man, people are lying. Shut the fuck up. He never got started. Then I look and none of his tweets are loaded. I'm like, no fucking way. He's gone. You got to go to Instagram, boomer.
I've had a lot of people tell me I'm very, very important on my Instagram.
Yeah, say the stream bitrate is 2,706. Again, my internet, it just got started up again, so fucking forgive delay or low quality. I don't really know.
Hold on. I think PurpleTinker's in the chat. We can always talk to her.
Them.
Them?
Huh.
Purple's binary now?
Oh no, somebody called PurpleTinker them, and now PurpleTinker's
Oh.
gonna try to say they're transphobic or something like that.
No, we've been
I'm very-
referring to her as her the whole fucking stream.
I don't know, but if you say them one time, you're automatically transphobic Satan.
Well, we might as well bring her
Apparently.
on.
I mean,
Might as well
She
bring
has
her on.
hers as server. She knows she can join.
yeah, Purple, if you want to join, defend your point at all. I'll give you fucking... You're online in the stream right now, so I'll give you 3 minutes. Because I don't want this to be a long fucking stream. How do I put
Is
this
Zero
shit in
your
mute?
friend, Riza?
Yeah, Zoro's my good friend. Don't worry about him.
Yeah, so probably you guys just stop telling for people to block her or like kick her from the fucking stream. It's not gonna happen.
Also, most of you are like teenagers. You can't argue worth a crap. So,
But Mr. Lyle, man.
I remember last time a teenager tried to argue with me. How'd that go with them?
They died.
Oh well.
Okay.
Yeah. there were no survivors. Actually, don't we? Let's go ahead and check the welcome because I think we have to. Who was it? Oh, Webcake's here. That's interesting.
Yeah.
She joined. I gave her the podcast because I thought she initially wanted to join the stream.
She probably will eventually. The Drift. Interesting names.
Yeah.
Okay,
You
I
have
have
no
no idea
idea how to get on your Discord? Girl, you've joined the group before. The link's in Riza's fucking Twitter. You just click it.
This girl.
Hold on. PurpleTinker, in the description, there's the link to Ruza's server. If you hop in, I'll verify you, and then we'll bring you on. You just got to click on the chat thing about who's it once you're brought in. Void. We'll wait in the void.
Oh boy, this stream is gonna be longer than I wanted it to be, but hey, that's fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Yeah. Okay, I put this media thing on loop, so now it won't go black at random. So, you know, I'm a great streamer.
Fortuna, if you don't stop creeping on people, I'm gonna remove you from this chat.
Who?
Fortuna, the chat.
Oh, Tinker, you have the roles.
All right, you should be able to hop in the chat, Tinker.
And now we wait.
So how y'all doing whilst we wait?
Fuck you! Shut up. Okay.
We all know the truth.
I'm very offended.
You're waiting for Freddy Fazbear to come after you. I know how this is.
All right. Let me
Leave me alone.
The woman of the hour.
Tinker's
Sorry, I'm a mute.
On
Okay.
Discord rooms.
Good evening. Good evening, Tinker. How you doing today?
Well, I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
we can hear you.
you just fine.
Anyways, so yeah, the TLDR is, I think that what you guys do when you go after pedophiles is great. And I think that what you do when you go after zoophiles is great. The only reason that I took issue with you at all is the idea of if a 17-year-old sexts with a 19-year-old, let's destroy the 19-year-old's life. I think that's fucked up. That's all. Yeah, it's legal, but I don't think that a 19-year-old who has a girlfriend 2 years younger than them deserves to be put on a sex offender list for life.
Well,
that will destroy their life for effectively doing nothing wrong.
Yeah, I never said. Okay, go ahead.
Hold on. Didn't we get some word? Or I could be misremembering this because I've been very tired lately. Wasn't there some sort of solicitation for this via monetary compensation?
Yeah, the thing is, like, how they got it too was fucked up because they were actually 16. It was my fault for getting the age wrong, but the 16-year-old was saying.
Okay, yeah, and that changes the equation.
Yeah, the 16-year-old was saying, you know, I really want this dildo, and the 19-year-old was like, I could get it for you, and I actually have the receipt, and you know, it is confirmed that they did send a nude, and I could give you the receipt if you doubt me at all or anything like that. But
I've got no reason to doubt that, and again, the fact that they're 16 does change the equation a bit. You know, if they were 15, it'd be grosser. If they're 14, it'd be worse still, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, and
the only thing that I took issue with is, you know, at one point yesterday, you were saying 2 years, 1 year, 3 months. I don't care what the age gap is. And it's like, you kind of have to. Because if someone's dating someone 3 months younger than them, it's not wrong. If someone's dating someone who's 12 when they're 35, it's very wrong. The age gap does matter.
It's not dating. It's more specifically sending nudes. I believe they should both face consequences in some sort of way. like the kids shouldn't be online, but I don't think the consequences should be jail for 10 years or sex offender registry. I think it's something parents should
Okay, I'm
personally
glad to
deal
hear
with.
you say that.
Okay.
I'm glad to hear you say that,
But-
because the thing is, the law, the law doesn't know nuance. Like I pointed out to you the other day, was it you or was it someone else I was talking to about the same thing? But there was this one case where two 16-year-olds, a boyfriend and a girlfriend, got arrested. They threw the guy in jail, and they charged the girl with child pornography for sexting between two people of the exact same age. And like, that's how the law is. The law is a blunt instrument. It doesn't care about nuance or anything, and there are states with Romeo and Juliet laws where a 17-year-old and a 19-year-old are allowed to have sex and do sexy things and whatever. And then there are states without those laws where you can be put on a sex offender list for life for being 19 and dating a 17-year-old, or even for being 19 and even for being 18 and dating a 17-year-old, someone within 1 year of your age. And you're making the legal argument, and yeah, I understand your legal argument. I'm just saying the law in this case is wrong. If you're 18 and you date a 17-year-old, there's nothing wrong with that. That's 1 year gap. That's nothing.
I'm gonna let Lio. Hold on. I'm gonna let Lio talk after that. Again, I don't really give a shit about the dating part.
Oh, it's Lio? I always thought it was Leo.
Oh, it's Lio.
Lio. It's fine, but I'm gonna let them talk after.
I am really curious to hear what Lio says then, because I've always found them to be a decent person.
Again, I'm just gonna say, hold on, just let me say this. I'll let Lio talk. It's not about dating. I don't care if it was dating. It's just sending nudes. I don't think anyone under 18 should do that, or anyone who is
Of course they shouldn't, because it could get leaked, or someone could spread it.
Yeah, or
and if the 19-year-old gets the nude, it's no big deal. But if the 19-year-old then gives it to a 35-year-old, that's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll let Lio talk.
So here's my value when it comes to stuff like this. I am in general a proponent of the law. I do understand, because I do know quite a bit of law, that law very rarely recognizes nuance in cases like this, because a lot of times they have to make examples out of things. I understand also, though, why the law is the way it is for these things. And some laws specifically about this stuff was put in place because of kids sexting, because they want to make it a deterrent. But the problem is that law enforcement, whether by their own ignorance or by their own desire, aren't aware of or don't care that kids don't know law. So when it comes,
kids also don't care about law.
Well, they do, but I don't. Kids. I've stated this before when I was talking about why kids shouldn't be involved in predator hunting outside of the general danger. Like, kids don't tend to think in, for lack of a better word, three-dimensionally. They don't think about external consequences. They only think of the here and now. So when it comes to this, personally, 16, 19, there can be a problem. They shouldn't have sent nudes. I'm more concerned in this case about sending a 16-year-old a dildo and you're 19, because number one,
it's gross. It's unquestionably it's gross and it's creepy. Yes,
it's not just gross and creepy, but if I'm not mistaken, I believe giving a child something like that, because still a child, is illegal as well. And it's gross, it's illegal. So we got to my preference. If I was the one that initially handled this, which again, I'm not dunking on Ruza for this, I never would. But this is why when it comes to cases like this, like getting in and fussing at the 19-year-old and hoping they don't do it again is a good idea, but it's not always foolproof. But in the case of the 16-year-old, my value is, if I could, just call her parents. That's just, it's a 19-year-old right now. It might be a 30-year-old in a month, That's what I'm worried about, especially in online cases like this. It's really easy to just go hard all the time. And I'm trying to soften up in some cases. When it comes to teen sexting, it's better to inform them about why they shouldn't. They're probably not going to listen to you, but it's better to inform them why they shouldn't. But on top of that, when it comes to somebody older, we have to start looking a little deeper and find out, if we can, the why and the where. Because how did this even leak, Ruza? Do you remember?
The kid directly told me about everything that happened, because I called out their friend as a zoophile, and they said, well, they're not only a zoophile, they've done this to me when I was younger.
How old is the person now?
Hold on. They're still 16, about to turn 17.
Are they in a state where zoophilia is illegal? Because shockingly, as far as I'm aware, it's actually still legal in some states, which is
Yeah.
fucking sick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
But
be
It'd
straight
be
up.
probably easier to get them on that if they're in a state where it's illegal.
I'm gonna be straight up. Fuck. If they're fuck, I forgot what state they're in. I could look it up, but if it's not legal, they're still a piece of shit. They're still an animal abuser, in my opinion.
Well, what do you think is the likelihood of this 19-year-old weaponizing the 16-year-old's nudes?
I don't think they. I honestly don't know. They are so unstable. They've done a lot of fucked up shit in their relationship, which shows that they're willing to do other fucked up shit to other people. So I honestly have no clue. But
This is Pony Fandom. We're all unstable here.
Well, okay. So here's what I'm going to recommend, Ruza, and you can listen to me or not. It's up to you. Talk to the 16-year-old again, because it seems to me like this had a lot more to do with coercion than it did anything else. So while the law may not understand nuance, it does understand argumentation, because that's how law works. So if the 16-year-old were to file the report, I was coerced by this adult, send XYZ thing. In return, he would send me this sex object, and also I have evidence that this individual abuses animals. The 16-year-old was able to put forward that report, and that's something we've got to start being really hardline about, is putting reports about these people in. Not on our end, we always do, but like we've got to have a harder line in the sand about making sure the kids also file reports, because otherwise we're not going to get anywhere, right? So we need to hammer that down. We need to take care of that, and we need to try to convince this teenager that's the right thing to do, and show her how to go about doing it.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Because fundamentally, it seems that the having talked to you guys for a couple of minutes, I don't think that my position is actually that different than your position. Because again, the reason I took issue in the first place is I thought you were basically saying, yeah, nail the 19-year-old to a wall, put him on a sex offender registry, and throw him in jail for life. And I don't think that's what you're saying. If you're actually concerned about protecting the 16-year-old, you got to figure out what their damage is. What that's the wrong phrase. You got to figure out if they are, how they're being hurt.
Mm-hmm.
If they feel they're being coerced. I mean, like, again, how did all this start? Is this someone saying, please help me, I'm being groomed? Or is this somebody saying, or is this just, now I've got a gotcha on this person? Well, what even provoked all of this?
Yeah, that's a good question. But here's the thing. When it comes to dealing with this type of stuff, while, naming, shaming, mocking, and putting reports in about the pedophile is 100% just, righteous, and flatly cathartic, the safety of the child has to come first before anything else. Getting them out.
Isn't that the whole point?
Yes. But we've also we've run into other people in the past, whether it be people that call themselves antis on Twitter or whatnot, where they're more concerned with the catharsis than they are actual safety, which is why there are kids out there doing nonsense like this. But I mean nonsense like this, I mean like involving themselves with predators in order to try to bust them, which the kids should not be involved in at all. But
no, it's dangerous.
It is, and that's what we need to focus on right here. So we need to contact the 16-year-old. I'm sure somebody here has that information, and find out the whys, the wherefores, and see if we can convince this person to file a report. And the problem we always have here, Tinker, is usually when we try to get the kid to file a report, they don't tend to. And the reason why they don't tend to is because they know that they're going to have to get a ride from their parents or whatnot, and their parents are going to find out what they're doing online. They're worried about being removed from the internet and all that. And as I said before, kids, they don't think three-dimensionally, so they only think in the here and now, right? I have fun on the internet. I'm with my friends on the internet. I don't want to be off the internet. And that's always been one of the biggest burdens here, or biggest barriers here, rather. So that's something we've got to start addressing perhaps differently. And I don't know quite how to do that yet, but it's something we'll figure out, I'm sure.
Well, what's besides protecting the kid, because obviously, taking everything you've said as face value, that's the goal here. That should be the goal here, protecting the kid. Beyond that, specifically, what do you think should happen to this 19-year-old? Do you think he should get a visit from the FBI or cop knocking on his door? What do you think should happen to this person?
If
go ahead.
If it comes to the 19-year-old, if we find out that this is out of coercion, if we find out that Ruza says this individual is a zoophile, unfortunately, the FBI is not going to do dick about it because the FBI is more concerned with numbers than they are anything else. The FBI doesn't want to worry about your occasional pedophile. They want to bust somebody who has 9 or 10,000 terabytes of child porn or runs a sex ring or whatever. That's just how our government works when it comes to that. For when it comes to the 19-year-old, I want one of two things. Either them being incarcerated one way or another, and on a registry for
They're just dropped off.
I have no idea. So we have a lot of people in the chat that don't talk, so it might have been one of them.
Yeah.
So either put that person on a registry if we find out they've coerced the child or if they have in fact sexually abused an animal. I know there's no zoophile registry for some bizarre reason, or two, if it's not any of those things, I would recommend that this person seek some counsel, because sending a dildo to a 16-year-old is still so morally gross that I don't know what went wrong with this person. I genuinely don't. So I think some counseling might be in order there. I think some coaching, having some good role models might help. As much as it's always fun to say, haha, let's go beat on the pedophile. In this case, I don't think it's that clear, cut and dry. We're not dealing with somebody in his 30s and a 14-year-old. We're dealing with a 3-year gap, and we're dealing with somebody whose motives we don't quite know on both ends here. Granted, the 19-year-old seems a lot more, for lack of a better word, guilty in this case because of the content of the information we have here. But either get the guy some help if he is somebody who needs help, or get the guy in a cage where he can't hurt anybody.
Honestly, I gotta say I agree with you. If the person was coercing, absolutely nail him to the fucking wall.
So that's
because there's a huge power imbalance between 19 and 16. I mean, Romeo and Juliet is one thing, but Romeo and Juliet implies they're both into it. If there's one person grooming another, that's not Romeo and Juliet. That's just a creepy stalker / groomer / rapist.
Yes, and also Romeo and Juliet laws also vary from state to state, and I don't know what state these two are in.
I don't know. Also, does Lio? That'd probably be you who know that. What if it's across state lines?
Across state lines is a hard 18.
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't really apply online.
Correct.
Romeo and Juliet laws just apply when it comes to real life sex.
Correct. Which, it's weird, but I also understand why
the law is always 20 or 30 years behind the times.
It's not more now, considering how quickly technology is adding up. Like, Ruza, I think she was in the call when reported the legend, Carl Smith.
Yeah.
The parole, and I was kind of fumbling over things because they were asking some really specific questions. What's the name of your group? Of course, we don't have a name. Or when did this happen? On Discord. These people don't really know these things. To them, the internet's still like ATT message groups and funny cat videos. They don't really understand.
Don't even get me started on how the boomers see the internet. For fuck's sake, yeah, I could go on all day, but that's not really here nor there. But yeah, I mean, look, for what it's worth, I'm sorry we got into this piss fight yesterday, because having heard you, after we've both had a day to sit on it and talk about it with a little bit of nuance, I agree with what you're saying here. If this person's coercing them, nail them to the wall, get them on a registry, whatever. If they aren't, get them help. Because anyone who's let's face it, anyone who is over 18, even by a day, and has sexual dealings with someone who's 16, even if they're only 2 years younger, that's dangerous to them. And like, there are a lot of people, especially in fandom, who are, how shall I put it, spectrum-y. I mean, I'm spectrum-y, but a lot of people are spectrum-y in ways that they don't understand the possible consequences, which I guess sort of ties in with what Laya was saying. And like, they might not understand, like, yeah, it's a 2-year age gap, but it's still legally, it's still illegal, and it's still dangerous. And if you sexted with someone 2 years younger than you and those nudes got leaked or hacked or whatever, then you could be in the deepest possible shit.
Fair enough, but I don't know how much you heard of me talking in the stream earlier, Tinker.
I was actually on a meeting for work, so I don't think I heard any of it.
Oh, I was asked about my opinion about all this because, of course, I'm still not on Twitter. Somehow, I beat Donald Trump to getting suspended, even though I actually did nothing. But
what was their excuse?
They said
there's always an excuse.
They said that I bypassed the suspension they lifted in August of last year, 2019, rather.
Sounds like a clerical error.
It is, but somehow my appeal gets lost in the void. But what I said, Tinker, is I've noticed a small pattern here with you. You see something, you immediately get heated, and you just start going at it because you're a very passionate person. I don't think you're evil. I don't think that you're out here to do harm. I think you can do a lot of good, and you have done a lot of good. But when it comes to high intensity subjects like this, sometimes you got to learn to just look at it and just close out the app, take a few minutes to breathe. And if it's somebody from this camp, somebody that has DMs open, chat with them, find out what's exactly going on, and then if you still feel that intense, then go from there. But it seems like you jump the gun a lot, and that's because you've got a lot of fire in you, and that I can respect. But this happens pretty regularly, and I think you've got to learn to calm down, breathe, and then address it with a clearer head instead of just that immediate knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah, that's good advice and well taken, and I'm working on it. I'm still in the process of trying to find a therapist. You would not believe how hard it is to find an anger management therapist who's also dealt with gender issues and autism. It's pretty fucking hard. But yes, I'm working on it. And I mean, let's be honest. There was the Capitol was breached this week. There's a fucking coup in progress. Things are going crazy, and I think everyone's tensions are running a little high. It's like when I was responding to him, I'm like, okay, I know that saying this can get me in some big shit. But I didn't listen to that part of my mind that said this is a bad idea, and I should have, and I'm sorry for that.
Ruza, do you accept that apology?
Yeah, I mean, I was confused when you replied because, we both shared a Lope server at the time, and I was actually in the voice chat in there when you replied. And like, everyone's seen your reply and said, why didn't she just come in here? Why didn't she just DM us,
I don't even know. To be honest, with all this stress that's been going on, I haven't been thinking particularly clearly, and there's it's been pointed out that, and this is not just me, although obviously I'm affected as much as, and maybe more than anyone else, is that with all this stress that's going on in the news lately, everyone's stress hormones are running wild. Everyone's system's full of cortisol and full of adrenaline, and it seems like a lot of people are on a short fuse. I think that might have had something to do with it. And in my particular case, I tend to get angry a lot, but definitely it's been hard to keep on an even keel this last week, especially for me. I'm actually kind of surprised I only had one, argument or, fight or whatever like this week.
Well, keeping the lines of communication open is a very important thing. And being able to discuss even heated topics like this is always a good idea for one of two reasons. Either the old saying, iron sharpens iron. Either you can get better at your own argumentation, or maybe you can persuade someone, or they can persuade you to a different line of thinking that might be able to assist you. And of course, we're not talking about, regressive ideologies like, whether or not black people deserve rights. That's clearly, obviously they do. And that's not even a topic that should be up for debate. But just in stuff like this, where in general, we have the same view, but perhaps there's a different value there that can be discussed. But it's just something to keep in mind going forward. If you have a problem with anybody here, don't fly off the handle. I mean, not just with anybody here, but just in general, don't fly off the handle. Random Twitter people, who cares, right? You're never going to meet those people. But when it's people that you generally spend a community around or you work with one way or another, always best to just try to talk to them first if you can.
Yeah. You're right. I I got no excuse. Like I said, there was the voice in the back of my head saying, "This is a bad idea. I shouldn't get involved in this," and I put my foot in it, and I feel like a stupid idiot for it. Yeah, and it is what it is. Like I said, now that we've talked about it, I think we're actually kind of on the same page. So if I can be of assistance, I'm on board.
All right, sounds good to me. Anything else you guys want to cover?
Hold on, I have to unmute myself in OBS. Not really. I think that's about it.
I'm gonna ban Missy.
No, don't ban Missy.
Gotta ban Missy. I see what she did. Gotta ban Missy.
Wait. What was wrong about the art? Like, what logo?
She's actually using a fan render logo, and the funny thing is, there's some parts of it that are obviously incorrect. But the funny thing is, Warner Brothers is so lazy that when they search for the logo to put on toys, they keep using the wrong one. They don't even know their own logo. Either way, I'm banning Missy for it.
Okay.
Sounds like Hasbro.
Hold on.
No, Hasbro's actually done okay with like Transformers recently, but
I mean, they've been known to get their own cutie marks wrong, put cutie marks on one side of the pony, etc. Oh, and once they spelled their name Habsro in a copyright takedown.
fantastic.
All right. Well,
Multi-billion-dollar corporations.
I'm on the stream here. I was able to do a stream that wasn't an hour long, 15 minutes. Not really enough.